Russians like Roman Abramovich have become part of British life. But the war in Ukraine has ended the UK's love affair with wealthy Russians and their cash.
It's absolutely...
Roman Abramovich has stolen money from Russians, billions of dollars of money of Russian taxpayers.
We uncover new details about Roman Abramovich's murky past. And we reveal how he really made his fortune. Chelsea is a football club insured by the British government. Roman Abramovich's money is no longer welcome, and he's been disqualified as a director of the club.
Get one while you still can.
What do you think of Roman Abramovich?
Chelsea can't even sell matchday tickets or scarves. Only fans who'd already paid are here today.
Roman Abramovich.
Mr. Abramovich denies he has close links, but the UK government says he's destabilising and threatening Ukraine, and that one of his companies may be supplying steel for Russian tanks. Roman Abramovich had a so-called golden visa, allowing him to live here until 2018. The document contains new details about an incident that happened when Roman Abramovich was just 25.
Deputy City Prosecutor of Moscow authorized the imprisonment of Abramovich under Article 90 of the Criminal Procedure Code.
It's 1992. Russian detectives are investigating the alleged theft of a trainload of diesel. Roman Abramovich is the main suspect.
Abramovich personally met the shipment and, using forged documents, had it rerouted to Riga, where the diesel oil was sold.
Mr. Abramovich was arrested but never charged. His lawyers have told us it was all a misunderstanding and the matter was resolved. But the secret document suggests he was detained in police custody. When we put this to Mr. Abramovich, he didn't deny it.
Mr. Abramovich already had a big conflict with the law. A criminal case was launched. The deputy prosecutor of Moscow issued a warrant to arrest Abramovich. But later, this case disappeared without a trace.
In the mid-1990s, Russia was a pretty lawless place. The government owned the vast oil industry here, but Roman Abramovich came up with a plan to get control of it himself.
The idea was simple.
It would be a multi-billion-dollar rip-off and make his fortune. But Roman Abramovich wasn't a big political player back then. He was an oil trader. He needed help to make his plan work.
He was just an ordinary guy from the crowd.
Roman Abramovich teamed up with someone who did have political influence. Boris Berezovsky was one of Russia's first oligarchs. He was well connected. To kickstart Roman Abramovich's plan, Berezovsky wanted to pay off a top Kremlin official, and it was Mr. Abramovich who would provide the money. $10 million. I'm on my way to meet the government official who was supposed to get Roman Abramovich's cash. He's agreed to meet me at his home, deep in the woods, east of Moscow.
The man we're going to meet, he saw the president every day.
Alexander Korzhakov is part of Russian history. This is him on the right, protecting President Yeltsin when communist hardliners attempted a coup. And he was there when world leaders came to visit.
Everyone was afraid of me. I was the bogeyman for many people.
He denies being bribed with $10 million, but he says Berezovsky and a local politician did try to buy his support for Roman Abramovich's plan.
Then they tell me, what percentage do you want? We'll give it to you.
Were they trying to bribe you then, do you think?
Yeah, because they were afraid that I would block the way for them.
Wherever Mr. Abramovich's $10 million ended up, it seems to have worked. The Kremlin agreed to support his plan and combined the valuable oil facilities. A giant oil company called Sibneft was formed. It was then auctioned off, but the auction was rigged so Roman Abramovich would win.
Was this an auction in any real sense?
No, absolutely not. It was like a pre-arranged deal which was dressed up as an auction, but nobody else really was allowed to participate. That's a corruption. This is what you call corruption.
This is where the bidding for Sibneft took place. By the time the auction had begun...
And there's more. It looks like most of the money borrowed by Roman Abramovich to buy the new oil company came from the Russian government. The secret document says shortly before the auction, a government minister deposited $137 million of the budget money, that's Russian taxpayers' cash, in a bank. That bank then lent Mr. Abramovich the money to buy Sibneft. Russia's former chief prosecutor, Yuri Skuratov, doesn't know about the document, but he also says that Roman Abramovich's bid was funded by the Russian state.
Basically, the government financed the participation of this bank in the auction where Sibneft was purchased. In a normal country, that doesn't make any sense. That's like the theater of the absurd. But nevertheless, the scheme was implemented.
The corrupt auction meant Roman Abramovich was eventually able to buy the whole company at a knockdown price, around $250 million.
It was the Russian people who were ripped off by the rigged Sibneft auction. Our dossier on Roman Abramovich says the government was cheated out of $2.7 billion.
The secret document also says the police wanted to charge Mr. Abramovich with fraud. It's one of the most damning sentences in the file.
The Department of Economic Crimes investigators came to the conclusion that if Abramovich could be brought to trial, he would have faced accusations of fraud by an organized criminal group.
Once again, the allegation in the document is independently supported by Yuri Skuratov.
Basically, it was a fraudulent scheme where those who took part in privatization formed one criminal group that allowed Abramovich and Berezovsky to trick the government and not pay the money that this company was really worth.
Roman Abramovich did modernize and improve Sibneft. Just 10 years after taking control, he sold the company back to the Russian state for a staggering $13 billion. The corrupt Sibneft deal is where his fortune comes from.
The controlling stake was returned to the government for $13 billion. I think the numbers speak for themselves.